Start singing.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Xmas Your Enthusiasm. This is our fifth episode of this fourth season. We're at the halfway point, can you believe it? And today's episode is Vehicular Fellatio, Season 7, Episode 2. It debuted on September 27, 2009. And just for a little treat for you people, like, you know, because sometimes I stay up all night wondering if I give you people enough, especially considering I get exactly zero in return. But I realized, you know what? What was I doing on September 27th, 2009? And luckily, since I am the most prolific blogger in the history of the world, even though nobody's ever fucking read a word of it, I have the 20th anniversary of the first post of Xmas Time coming up in November 9th. But, you know, who cares? Nobody cares. 40,000 posts, but, you know, what more can I give you people? Anyway, so I said, why don't I look and see what I posted on that day? And I looked, and there's a lot of bullshit. My number one is me asking, what was Xmas Time thinking 2 years ago today on this date? And apparently what I was thinking was, it was the 100th anniversary of the bra, so I listed important dates throughout my personal bra history / experience, starting in what looks like 7th grade on the school bus, and then continue from there. Although, if I'm being honest, a lot of it looks like it took place on the school bus. So that's very charming if you'd like to check that out. Shout out Bus 4! I also have a nice thing where I call it Crossing Streams. I found a quote in Tom Wolfe's The Right Stuff that matched up with a quote from Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man. It's about pissing yourself. If you want to look that up, great. This is the class grade A choice stuff I just deliver you people every day. Nobody cares. Whatever. What am I even talking about? Who cares? Let's give a happy birthday, Xmas Your Enthusiasm shout out to Waddy. Waddy, one of the all-time great Curb fans. I don't know if he listens to this horse shit, but he loves the show. So happy birthday, Waddy. Real quick, I need some fucking help. Somebody needs to contact me about this goddamn Panera parking lot next to me. And I call it a parking lot even though it's a fucking bike lane, because they have these two fantastic benches there I love to sit at. One, because yes, I'm an old fucking man, but there's something about this corner. It's like you feel like you're sitting in the most modern setting, and you feel like it's on Sesame Street. It's a great spot, but these motherfuckers come rolling up and just park right next to me when I'm sitting there, ostensibly to sprint into Panera and grab something hastily and come out apologizing, since you're not allowed to park there. But no, I've come to see, sometimes they don't even go to Panera, they go to Wegmans. And are they sprinting? No, they're doing the fucking big shop. Sometimes they leave their fucking headlights on, so even if I do want to sit there, just lights burning through my fucking retinas, which I thought you recall from last episode, were checked out by my next door neighbor eye doctor, and they are faboo. That's going on my Tinder. That is my Tinder. And I just can't fucking take it anymore. I don't know. What do you do? Do you narc on these people? Who do you call? 311, 411, 911? I don't fucking know. I need some help. Write in. Shit, I never gave out an email for this. Slide in, so you can't even, slide into my DMs more than usual with some help. Does anybody have any power? What do I do? Stop these motherfuckers from just parking there and spreading out a picnic basket to enjoy, ruining my shit. Then also, oh fuck, I gotta scream for a minute. You can go turn this off or whatever for the next 60 seconds. Slow walkers, I fucking have it. I've had it, and it's just something about fucking, there's like two versions of it now. One, I think I've said before about like guys like 30 yards ahead of me, but I can tell that if I'm just walk normal, I'm going to catch up to him quickly because he's just breezing up the sidewalk. And then, but to pass him, it's going to take like a turbo boost. This is going to make me look like an asshole, like whatever. So then I have to dawdle, which I'm probably good at. And then, you know, So that's one. And then there's another one. It's like today, leaving work, there was this lady, I don't know her. I assume she works in my same company. And somehow when we breezed out of the building, I found myself in lockstep with her. Like I just couldn't shake her without, just sprinting off suddenly like a cheetah or something. That's what people think of when they think of me running, by the way. Just a cheetah, maybe. Future sponsor. I just couldn't shake her, but then so I did what I do sometimes anyway, and sometimes people from the office want to do a lot of chit-chatting on the street. I did it. I just stopped. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop, pretend like I'm stopping for a reason. Now, I don't even know if she was aware I existed, and I was like, I'm going to give her a minute, let her go, get where she's going way up ahead, yada, yada. Of course, I'm full of shit. I shouldn't, why even bother? I know it's going to happen. I'm dicking around on my phone. I got my face down, dicking around, whatever. It's like a minute, 2 minutes, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. Then I just start walking where I'm going. I'm not paying attention. At the next fucking corner, wherever I got to stop, boom, there she is. It's like fucking Pepe Le Pew in reverse. I can't fucking take it with these slow fucking walkers. Like, you cannot shake them, and you're in a battle that they're not even aware of, which doesn't help. I don't know what I'm going to do about the slow walkers, but anyway, like I said, let's get into the episode. Let's give a big Xmas Time Your Enthusiasm. Thank you. Shout out to Theodore, the right-wing conservative, George Bush-loving, stuffed animal bear that hosted that show last week. Thank you, Theodore. And, of course, if some things come through in the courts, would love to have you back again. Thank you. And also, thank you to Roy Rogers for sponsoring Season 4 of Xmas Your Enthusiasm. Roy Rogers, you're the one who took the wrong exit. You eat the shit. All right, Vehicular, Fellatio, let's see what they say about it. Against the will of a renowned doctor, Larry tries his best. Again, here we go to Larry fighting the doctors. How many times have we fucking been through this? Against the will of a renowned doctor, Larry tries his best to irritate Loretta. Ooh, Loretta time means Leon time. Once again, Larry causes issues in Richard Lewis's new relationship, and after being unintentionally tipped off by Leon, takes advantage of the wife of a depressed friend. All right, I got to be honest. If this is the one with Bo Duke, and I'm not saying this because of him, but I think this is on the bottom quarter of my Curb episodes. I think, but let's get into it. Who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised. Probably not, but this is the shit you say when, you're entertaining people. All right, here we go. Vehicular manslaughter. Vehicular fellatio. Same thing for all I fucking know at this point. All right, so right off the bat, if you remember, I don't know if we've had episodes with this, but Larry and Loretta are dating, and she has cancer. Boy, how am I going to get out of this one? But she calls him up to come ask him something upstairs, and he's bitching and moaning, like, you just asked me about that or whatever. And she's like, fuck you, I got cancer. And it's like, yeah, Larry, you're lucky to even be in the same room as Vivek A. Fox. You're never going to get anything close to this again. I think it's yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. And I'm sorry I didn't bring a sandwich this time up. So, come on. 0-1, Larry. Pitiful. Okay, this is shaping up to be a rough season for Larry. He just immediately, right after having to be reminded that Loretta has cancer, immediately, in the next breath, he steps into it again. She asks him to drive her. She said, I want you to drive me to my doctor's appointment tomorrow. Again, doctor's appointment. Remember, she has cancer. And Larry says, oh, I can't. I'm playing golf. Like, you can't even come up with a bullshit excuse if you're going to, try to get out of it anyway. And again, she's not asking for a ride to, Marshall's or something. It's to go to her cancer doctor. Oh, that's 0-2, and that should count twice, Larry David. Come on, ding, 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 ding. All right, it took us 4 minutes and 12 seconds, but we finally got a Leon scene. I am giddy. Okay, so now this is one of these things that's gonna get me crazy and crazier as the episode goes on. Leon wants Larry to call his buddy who's depressed because he thinks his smoking hot wife may be cheating on him. And he's a huge Seinfeld fan, so he thinks Larry could cheer him up. So Larry called. I mean, I think it's his birthday. I mean, I should know. I just literally watched it 3 seconds ago. So Larry calls him. He's like, hey, I'm Larry David. Happy birthday, whatever. The guy's like, oh, great, thanks. And then Larry says something about, and I heard you have a beautiful wife, whatever. Now the guy's pissed off at Larry, and they go back, and it's like, I don't know. It's a dumb thing for Larry to throw in there, but I think guys think that is a compliment, even to each other. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just worn down by Larry this season. I'm going to give him the win. It was dumb of him to bring it up, but, why would you get upset, by this stranger saying it, basically, Anyway, 1 and 2, Larry. Congratulations, Larry. You got one. One more than me. All right, now Larry and Jeff and Richard and their respective girlfriends or wives or whatever are at dinner. I really hate having to describe these scenes for some reason in this episode. I don't know why. It seems I need so much setup. Anyway, Richard's new girlfriend, Jeff, says, Richard told him that she blew him in the car on the way over. So Larry's like, oh, so they sit down and he meets the girl and he's like, oh, what are you drinking? And she's like, it's pomegranate, whatever. And she shoves it in his face. He's like, hey, take a sip. And he freaks out. He backs it. He's very insulting. And so she's offended that he wouldn't take a sip. And after a minute of being insulting, he kind of says, oh, I don't do little sips. It's like, Larry, you're a fucking genius, right? Come up. The answer is, oh, shit, I'm sorry, I'm allergic to pomegranate. Boom. Always have that in your back pocket whenever you're at a dinner with people you don't know, like the back of your hand. Always have the allergy bullshit in your back pocket. I don't know how many times I have to explain it to you people. But, so of course, Larry is unnecessarily offended this woman, embarrassing her in front of everybody by refusing to take a sip from her drink. 1 and 3, Larry. What the fuck? I mean, can we have Richard be happy for 2 seconds, for God's sake? Speaking of 2 seconds, that's exactly how long it took for Larry to top even that. Now they're all saying goodbye to each other. She goes in for the hug. It's great to meet you. He backs off, cartoonishly. It's like it's not enough for all their friends know. Let's let the whole city know. Puts on a big performance, like he's taking a charge in the lane or something. So of course she's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Again, Larry, I don't know how you made it even worse, but you did. 1 and 4. This is easily. What was he before? 13 and 25, I think, coming into this. This is easily his worst season yet, if he continues like this. Speaking of seasons, don't forget, Season 4 of Xmas Your Enthusiasm is brought to you by Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers, you're the one who took the wrong exit. You eat the shit. Just like a little kid, when Larry does good, I do want to give him credit. Richard confronts him right after. What the fuck is wrong with you? And Larry, with Jeff's prompting behind Richard, of course. Larry actually kind of does the right thing. I can't remember how this works out. I'm going to have to see. He kind of does the right thing, and he says, you know what? I had a cold sore, and I was too embarrassed to say anything. So, all right, good for Larry. He threw himself on the grenade. I'm going to give him a win for that. 2 and 4. Wow. All right, now Leon confronts Larry, I forget the name of his friend, but he's pissed off. How could you have said that to him? And Larry's like, "What? It's no big deal. I just said, what you said, you beautiful wife." And then, of course, it turns out the reason Leon's upset, of course, is that Leon is the one that's banging his friend's wife. And of course, Larry's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" So we got to give the edge to Larry here. Larry thought he was doing a nice thing, whatever. And let's be honest, he certainly wasn't fucking his buddy's friend like Leon is. So, wow, 2 in a row for Larry there. 3 and 4, Larry. Oh, unless we let it go by. Of course, how are Larry and Leon even talking to each other? Because Leon just ran into Larry on the streets of Los Angeles or wherever they fucking live. Because, as we all know, according to the laws of Larry David's universe, whenever he leaves his house, he has to run into someone he knows. OMG, I totally forgot about this. We just talked about him, excuse me, I think 2 episodes ago. Super friend of the show, in my head anyway. We got Wayne Fetterman back again as that skeezy lawyer, Larry's next door neighbor who wanted to meet Elaine, and he was a real scumbag, but played so brilliantly by Wayne Fetterman. And here he is, he pops up again 6 years later or whatever, and he goes in awkwardly to hug Larry, hello, which obviously Larry's not good at, and he had his glasses hanging like grandma over his neck, and the glasses got broken, and he wants to, he's like, oh, don't worry, Larry, I'll send you the bill for it. And so Larry's like, what? And so they get in an argument. Of course, Larry, I hate to rule against my man, Wayne Fetterman. You know I love him. Larry's right. Of course, it's ridiculous. It was a mutual smushing of the glasses. But man, I am so happy to see Wayne Fetterman. And he did it. He played it so the way he just waved Larry off. Oh, don't worry about it. I'll send you the bill. And he just kept talking like he just smooth, like slipped it in there. Something about lawyers on this show I love. Remember me raving last season about that lawyer from Larry's sexual harassment suit, and I forget what season 11 or something. Anyway, I got to be honest, I'm a little shocked ever since I had that little anti-pep talk a couple minutes ago. Larry has evened it up. He's 4-4 right now for the episode, and I'm almost a little sad because I think Wayne Fetterman was only in 2 episodes, so I feel like all of a sudden, just like that, we got both of them. Not back to back, but just almost back to back. A little sad. We don't have that to look forward to, but anyway, I'm getting weepy. All right, long story, slightly less longer. Richard shows up at Larry's house. He's pissed. He's like, you got to apologize to my girl for the other night. Larry's like, fine, whatever, I'll do it. But instead of saying, I have a cold sore, he told her, yeah, I didn't want to kiss you because you gave Richard a blowjob in the car. She storms off. I don't even know how to grade this one, to be honest. It's like, yeah, Larry, why did you detonate that whole thing or whatever? But then it's like, fuck you, making someone apologize. Like I hate saying this, but kind of fuck you, Richard Lewis, and fuck this girl, and like, it's not great because Larry didn't have to do what he did. He could have just done the cold sore thing, but I'm not loving what this bullshit Richard pulled either. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Larry has pulled ahead for the episode. 5-4 Larry David. Look at this. Miracles happen. Okay, just to set up the ridiculousness of this. Now Larry's driving Loretta to go see this doctor, this new doctor that, super cancer doctor. Of course, as they're driving, he glances over and he sees her with her husband in the other car because that's what happens in the world. You just look out your car. Boom, that's somebody I know and have seen. And, of course, not only that, but then they start... it turns out she's blowing him, her husband, in the car, which is of course, the whole episode parallels perfectly with Richard because also in Larry David's universe, things like that happen. I guess it's like, when you buy a Ford Fiesta, all of a sudden you see Ford Fiestas out on the road. When somebody in your world mentions getting a blowjob in the car, suddenly you look, everybody's having blowjobs in the car. That's like 2 weird fucking curve things back to back. It's not even a transgression or confrontation. It's just me vomiting. This is, ugh. And I don't think this is. I got bad news. This is not the episode where Bo Duke shows up. So we don't have that to look forward to. So anyway, still 5-4 Larry. All right, now Loretta's freaked out about seeing this doctor that she's supposed to she really looks up to, is giving out blowjobs in the car. So she's like, Larry, turn this fucking car around. Larry fights because he wants her to see the doctor because that's how he's hoping to break up with her. Don't even ask. You've seen the fucking episode. And they go back and forth. Says, Larry, you can't argue with a woman who has cancer if she wants to turn around and go home. That's an easy loss. 5-5. I knew it was too good. I knew he couldn't stay above 500 for too long. 5-5, Larry. I don't know what his problem with Loretta is. She looks exactly like Vivica A. Fox, luckily enough. She's funny when she wants to be funny. And they do have this thing in common about they're both horrified by blowjobs in cars. So they have that to build on. So I don't know why they can't make this work. Okay, now the episode wraps with yet another instance of somebody being confused, thinking that somebody else is getting a blowjob in the car. In this case, it's Larry, Leon's hot wife from earlier. Loretta flips out. Fuck you. She's like, I'm out. So she and Ray and the kids all get in a cab, and they're like, we're out. Loretta, again, everything she says in this scene is hilarious. Larry, you should be clinging to her with all your might, whatever is in that thing we're calling a body. Auntie Ray, who I don't think had another line episode, her fuck you, Larry David, is an all-time classic. And of course, then Larry thinks, oh, he's finally alone again. This family is gone, who I'm sure was brought in by Cheryl, let's be honest, against his wishes. And then look who strolls up, Leon. And now I guess it's the first instance of Leon's never leaving, and we thank him for it. So Larry goes 5-5 that episode. Again, I knew going in, this isn't one of my favorite episodes, maybe one of my least 5 favorite episodes or whatever. So, and I know I feel like it leaked over into this episode. That's kind of a bullshit episode of Curb. This is probably the most bullshit episode of Xmas Your Enthusiasm so far. So, I mean, for fuck's sake, I even forgot the final version of this. Everybody's giving blowjobs everywhere. Jeff wrecks his car while Susie's, for fuck's sake. Skip this bullshit. Just go to the next one. And I gotta say, if I'm being honest, part of it I think is following Theodore after his brilliant performance last episode. That's tough. That can knock anybody off their game. So I'm gonna lead on that a little bit. But anyway, don't forget this season of Xmas Your Enthusiasm is brought to you by Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers, you're the one who took the wrong exit. You eat this shit. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. Well, oh shit. That brings Larry's score for the season up to, I can't believe he brought it down to 500. 5-5 puts him at 18-30. All right, 18-30. Let's see how it goes next week. We're halfway through this season. So thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.